Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Office 365 Pulse. Very excited to share with you things that are in development. We've got some things that are rolling out. We have some things that have launched. Nothing has canceled this week, so that's kind of exciting. So we'll go through those different categories and talk through it. And I'm going to pass it to Tamara first this time.
Ooh, Microsoft Teams Premium for GCC High and DoD. So Microsoft Teams Premium makes Teams meetings more personalized, intelligent, and secure with branded meetings, intelligent recap and search, live translated captions, advanced meeting protection, and it provides advanced webinar and advanced virtual appointment experiences. I am so excited that webinars are coming to the DoD. I could just sit down and just stay still. I'm so excited. And this is coming out in August. So I expect to see it by the end of August 2023. And then new Outlook for Windows reminder window. The reminder window is a new notification style in the new Outlook for Windows, and it's a pop-out window that organizes your meeting, event, and task reminders in one place. You can also snooze or dismiss reminders or join Teams meetings directly from the window.
I
To me,
have
that's
a,
like having a personal assistant.
I remember, I think her name was Cortana. Anyway, I have a very important question. Is a pop-out window different than a pop-up window?
Yeah, a
Depends on how
pop-out
far it
window
goes.
expands out of what you hit. A pop-up window is unsolicited.
There
Oh,
you
okay.
go.
Okay. Oh, semantics and words.
It's
Okay.
about user consent. I consented to the pop-out
Oh,
window, not the
oh,
pop-up window.
I love it. I love it.
I initiated the pop-out window.
Yep.
Cool. Well, Tom, I'm going to go, even though you're probably going to take the ones I was going to say, but I'm going to go and let you go, sir.
Okay. Microsoft Stream, add video to existing playlists. So now when
I saw that
you,
one. My thought was this not a thing before? That seems like a pretty basic function.
well, keep in mind you've got Stream Classic and then Stream on SharePoint and OneDrive, and you never had the concept of playlists in Stream Classic. So a lot of the updates that you see coming to Stream V2 have to do with playlists and what you can do with them. And I think this is kind of nice because when you are adding videos, from the Stream app, it's going to say, here's some existing playlists. Do you want to add it to it? And I can see for people who do training videos, that's probably going to be really nice to have. Or somebody who does a lot of these playlists and they want to have a playlist of all the biweekly meetings that they have for this particular topic. So I think that's a good one. Then the other one that I think is interesting, Microsoft, and this is not coming until July of 2024. Do not hold your breath. Microsoft 365 Bing Chat Enterprise. So Bing Chat Enterprise gives your organization AI-powered chat for work with commercial data protection. So basically what they're doing is giving you Chat GPT within Bing, and none of the stuff that you enter will go outside your organization. It will not train on that material. It's kind of fenced off very nicely. And the fact that it's going to be right on the edge sidebar means that you can just go in and say, hey, Bing, set me up with an advertising campaign with these parameters and let it see what it comes up with. I think that is really cool, especially with the organizational guards in it, because a lot of people are afraid you're going to be putting information out there that then seeps out into the world and gets trained on other things and your secrets all go away. That's not going to be happening with what Microsoft is doing with a lot of their internal chat GPT things that they are marketing to the M365 environment. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with the amount of money they're charging for Copilot. So we'll see how much that plays into it, or if you have to also spend a premium amount of money to get that.
I have noticed, it's taking every ounce of me to not just close it all the time. but I have started to notice that sidebar is appearing when
Mhm.
I'm doing more things now, and it'll be like, oh, you're opening this file. Maybe you need this. And at first, I'm an end user, y'all. My first reaction is that's different. Close, close. But now I'm like starting to see, wait a second, that might actually be what I was looking for, or they are actually helping me. So it'll be interesting to see when all of this comes up. Well, Tom, you did not take mine.
Well, because
So
I'm a
that's
nice person.
exciting. Yes, you are a nice person,
I'm being
even if you
kind and
took them.
I'm
Even
being
if you
kind
took
and
them, you'd be a
thoughtful.
nice person. So mine, this is me all the way. I will search for things in Outlook. And I just know it's in Outlook, but dang
I
it,
did
I
have
can't
that one
find it.
highlighted, but I don't think I have
Yes.
1,000 emails in my inbox. So there's that.
So Outlook, you can search 1,000 plus search results. So you can return over 1,000 results on a single search. Folder and subfolder recursive search. This is great for when you put something in a folder so you can find it later and then you can't remember for the life of you what folder you put it in. And then search box interface improvements for dark mode, which is very important to some people. Dark mode and contrast input, different things like that. So I'm excited about that. It looks like starting now, September of 23 and going all the way through January of 2024. So I think this will be a slow search trickle of changes that are coming out in Outlook, but I'm really excited about that because just this afternoon I was searching for something that I knew was in Outlook and I couldn't find it and I gave up. So there we go. Excited to see that. There's for Microsoft Teams, there's a new improved grid layout for classes. So it says it's going to team worldwide, but I'm wondering if that's just going to be Teams for education in the worldwide cloud. So it seems like that. So making it easier to get to your top used EDU apps and different things like that. Trust me, as a parent who went through the COVID homeschool that worked with Teams, those changes are very nice because you want to be able to quickly and easily get to everything your kiddo needs. So excited to see them continuing to make changes and improvements there. So that's what I have. Does anyone else have any others? I see a couple more for some Office apps. So Tom, do you have anything else you want to talk about? And then I got to pass it to Adam. What's wrong with me? I didn't pass it
I
to our
was
admin,
gonna
Adam.
say, I mean, come on. The
It's been a
purview
long
guy is
Monday.
here. Let's let the
Sorry.
purview guy go for it.
Yeah, go for it, Adam.
There's really not a ton of admin stuff in this. I'll give a shout out. I don't remember if it was mentioned earlier, but Microsoft Teams Premium for GCC High and DoD. That'll be nice coming out. I think it's Tamara said in August. And then the one thing I will mention, just because I think that this represents a cool trend, there is a Purview compliance portal update, and it's basically end users can report inappropriate posts and comments in Viva Engage. The reason I'm calling this out is clearly they are updating their Viva platform to kind of come in line with some of their security and compliance things that they're doing. And this is just good to see. Viva is one of the newer things that they kind of pushed over the last year or two. And normally the compliance and security updates are kind of the last tick in the box of stuff they're going through and doing. So it's nice to see that being included and incorporated into the platforms that they already have.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have for in development. So Tom, why don't you take us out for rolling out and you can get us started.
We got 4 people on this call. We got 4 items in rolling out. Guess who gets to go first? PowerPoint, present local files from PowerPoint app to PowerPoint live in Teams. This is really nice because if you are in PowerPoint and you've got a file that doesn't happen to be out in a cloud location, you can now click present in Teams and you can actually pull in that file and start sharing it, which normally it'd have to be up in the cloud before you got to do that. So I'm liking the idea that they're giving you more flexibility on what you can do in terms of getting PowerPoint out there and having things shared in meetings and the whole 9 yards. So I think that's really cool. And that's supposed to be this month.
I like PowerPoint Live, but there are some things that I think need to be worked on a little bit. Like when I do a PowerPoint presentation, I'm generally hopping back and forth between the presentation and the application that I'm presenting on. And there's no smooth way to do that with PowerPoint Live. Also, you need to decide whether or not you want your attendees to be able to forward through your presentation. So that is a feature you can turn on and off. It is on by default. So that's just something to consider.
Yeah, I would like for them to add in the ability to play sound from your computer if you're in PowerPoint Live, because a lot of times I'll use PowerPoint Live as an opening slide for 10 minutes. Like, hey, I'm going to go play a nice little, loop of music to let people know that they're actually in a place. You can't do that because PowerPoint Live will not play, any sound through your computer. So it's like, okay, I'm going to show the slide in PowerPoint and I'm going to play the computer noise. And yeah, I would just like it to be all consolidated there.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. If you give me the option to look at your slides before, that's the very first thing I'm going to do.
I am slide number 2. No, I'm on slide 57. Thank you.
Like, I'm already done. I can leave the meeting and thanks. I love it. Well, Adam, why don't you close us out on rolling out? Close us out. And then if Tamara has any from rolling out that you don't cover, we'll pass it to her. But it looked like it was all you, man.
Yeah, 2 admin stuff. We talked about one of them yesterday last week, just already moved to rolling out. And this is optical character recognition inside of Insider Risk Management. So again, this is basically if there's text inside of pictures, it can start to pick up that text for the Purview Center. That is rolling out as of now, so that's cool. And then the other one, I actually like this M365 app new sensitivity bar in Microsoft 365 apps. This is actually somewhat of a callback that I'm sure Jen in her mind right now is like, wait, I've seen a sensitivity bar before. It's because before this was default behavior and added into all the Office 365 apps, you had to download a plugin for your Office apps from Microsoft, and the plugin worked that had a sensitivity bar. The new one came in, they just put it as a button that you could go and explore. Sensitivity bar will basically show up as almost like a pinned bar below the options you have at the top. It'll just give you the different options you can select for sensitivity. So this is basically a throwback to how it worked like years ago and is easy and nice to have. So be cool to see.
Very cool. Well, when we get into launched, I'll ask the group, does anyone have anything that's a non-Adam launched? Because it's a very Adam launched section as well.
I will talk about the very last one just because it's the only thing that I actually recognize half the words to it. And that is Microsoft Teams Electronic Health Record Connector Virtual Appointment Usage Report for User Access. So if you're using Teams and you're using the Electronic Health Record Connector with that for virtual appointments, that virtual appointment app and the usage report that's involved there, it's now going to be available to people who are not admins, so you can see what's going on. I think if there's no sensitive information in there, the more information you can give the people who are working with this, the better off. So I think that's a good change, and you should have that in your environments if you use those things right now. And with that, Adam.
Awesome. Yeah, Adam, I think it's all you.
Play us out.
Yeah, so there's a decent amount of stuff that went into launch that we had talked about over the last couple of weeks. So updates to the Purview Compliance Center for Insider Risk Management stuff. The one example I'll throw out on this, if you're interested in this, you can go in and look up the full list. But I thought this was kind of cool. Recommended thresholds by Insider Risk Analytics, and this is basically if all of this is overwhelming, but you should probably be doing something with a compliance portal to protect yourself. Microsoft will basically say, hey, for an organization like you of your size and your number of users, this is what we think you want your settings to be. So again, if you're new and don't really know what you're doing, it's always nice to have that guideline. And then there was a couple other updates. One of them was kind of just nerdy that I liked. A flavor of Windows 365 is officially being launched called 365 Frontline. Again, Windows 365 is basically the PC through a browser thing that they're doing, basically like Azure Virtual Desktop without nearly as much of the overhead. And this is basically just a flavor of that that's designed for companies that have frontline workers that need access to a PC temporarily, but you're probably having multiple users use the same one terminal to access it. So giving you a flavor to do that. And then finally, there were 2 updates related to the e-discovery. So one, you can get a report as an administrator of all the e-discovery cases going on your tenant. So this will actually be useful for some of our clients. Some of the clients that we have that work in government have to do like Freedom of Information Act requests and stuff. So at times they maybe want to know what are all the current job like e-discovery cases we have going on, like how many of these do we still have open, what can we go through and close. And then the other one that I thought was cool, and again, this is kind of one of those things like, wait, you couldn't do that before. So they switched e-discovery to a premium and standard offering not too long ago. This used to be called these used to be the difference between advanced and regular e-discovery. Now it's premium and standard. But if you have a regular version of an e-discovery case and you want to make it premium, or you want to basically take advantage of the newer version of it, you just have to actually just recreate the whole case. You had to basically just start from point one and go through and start doing stuff again. Now you can just convert one over from one to the other. So if you have a regular e-discovery case, you can convert it over to a premium one. This is in particular nice. The core part that's the same between the two of those is like the actual search part. When you get into premium e-discovery, it has a lot more to do with like identifying stakeholders and stuff like that. But the going in and this is how I want you to filter my documents to find relevant results, these are the queries I built for it, that is essentially a one-to-one version of the same. And sometimes if you have a case open for a while, most of your work has been done refining those queries to get the results that you want. So the fact that you can just go through and upgrade the case instead of having to recreate it is pretty nice. That's it for me, Jen. You're muted.
Awesome. Yeah, the mailman went by and I was afraid the dog was going to go ballistic, so I had to mute myself. But I think that's all that we have for today. So yay, Microsoft, for having a nice clean roadmap at the fiscal change. That doesn't always happen, but it's pretty exciting. So we'll be back next week with more updates from the roadmap. And yeah, so bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Bye all.